CEO'su. Metasearch platformlarında nasıl başarılı olunur konu başlıkları ve konuklarıysa Mirai Metasearch Başkanı Clara Cerrada Boza, Epsilon Net Hospitality CEO'su Kostas Dukas ve Koddi Müşteri Hizmetleri Müdürü Petar Vidovic. Onları da sahneye aldık teker teker. Bu panelin sonunda anket sonucumuzu paylaşacağız ve bir aile fotoğrafı çektireceğiz geleneksel olduğu üzere. Sabırla tüm programı izleyen herkesi sahneye alacağız ve toplu bir fotoğraf alacağız hep beraber.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session, Empowering Hotels Through Metasearch. We are running late, so we will try to wrap up in 20-30 minutes, if that's okay for you. I know everybody is tired, and it's the last session. It's in English, so we'll try to our best to wrap up very quickly. So, as you know, over the last few years, the way guests search, compare, and book rooms are dramatically changed. So guests don't start on websites anymore. They start on Google, Metasearch platforms, price comparison services, and at the same time, acquisition costs are rising, competition is intense, and many hotels feel heavily dependent on OTA. Today we are here not just to talk Metasearch as a buzzword, but what we are going to do is we will translate it into practical action so you can take back to your hotels. We have a short video to set the base of this conference so we can understand what Metasearch is. It's around 2-minute video. Can we play the video?
Hi, I'm Amanda, Hotel Linkage's Metasearch assistant. Every day, millions of travelers explore countless hotels online, but only a few get noticed. Let me tell you how Metasearch can transform your hotel's online visibility and direct sales performance. Today's travelers explore and compare hotels on Metasearch engines before making a booking. By connecting your property, you can reach high-intent guests ready to book directly, without relying on intermediaries. Metasearch helps generate more direct bookings, increase brand visibility, and strengthen your competitive position against other properties and OTAs. Depending on your goals, you can choose between different participation models, such as cost per click, target return on ad spend, or cost per acquisition, ensuring flexibility and efficiency. Metasearch platforms such as Google Hotel Ads, Trivago, TripAdvisor, Kayak, and Skyscanner give your hotel visibility across numerous international markets, providing localized rates, multi-currency support, and broader reach to travelers worldwide. Powered by smart automation and continuous optimization, Metasearch ensures your hotel's visibility and direct sales grow sustainably, maximizing every marketing dollar. Over the past decade, Metasearch has evolved into one of the most impactful digital channels for hotels, helping properties achieve more direct bookings, reduce commissions, and strengthen guest relationships. It's not just a marketing tool, it's the future of hotel distribution. Thank you for watching. Now, let's explore Metasearch in more detail with our panel discussion.
Let me introduce you with our exceptional panelists who will share their insight on how Metasearch will help hoteliers to increase their direct bookings. Let me start with Clara Cerrada. Did I make it correct? I studied 10 minutes yesterday.
It's difficult.
Yes. Metasearch and Digital Marketing Director at Mirai. Clara, would you mind giving us a short introduction about yourself?
I'm Clara Cerrada from Mirai. I've been working at Mirai for 14 years. In the last year, I'm in charge of the digital marketing and Metasearch team, and I try to help our clients to increase their direct sales.
Thank you, Clara. And next we have Petar Vidovic, Client Service Manager at Koddi. Peter, would you mind giving a short introduction about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here. I'm Petar Vidovic, Client Services Manager at Koddi with over 7 years of experience within Metasearch space. Koddi is a big player when it comes to retail and e-commerce, bunking over billions and billions of spend in the past 13 years.
Thank you, Peter. And next we have Kostas Dukas, CEO and co-founder of Book Online Now, Epsilon Net Hospitality. Kostas, do you mind giving us a short introduction?
Hello, everybody. First of all, I'm very glad to be here. It's a great pleasure for me to be here among industry experts and friends. Thank you very much for that. I'm Kostas Dukas. I'm CEO and co-founder of Book Online Now. Book Online Now is a technology provider. Actually, it's an online booking engine and tools to optimize and maximize the direct sales for hotels. We're the market since 2010. We have more than 4,000 hotels in more than 70 countries. So we try to do our best to optimize revenue for the hotels.
Thank you, Kostas. So Clara, let's start with you. There are many hotels still confuse OTA with the Metasearch. Would you mind explaining us the difference? What is Metasearch? What is OTA?
Okay. As we saw in the video, Metasearch is a price comparison platform. It's pull prices and availability from different sources. It could be an OTA or hotel website, and they show them in a single screen where users can compare and decide where to book. Metasearch redirects the user to a website to complete the reservation. This website could be an OTA or website. It's a great opportunity for hotels because Metasearch redirects traffic to the website. So I would like to highlight why today is important, Metasearch, because all travels use Metasearch all the time. They use it to compare prices, but also to confirm if their choice is right or not. And travelers consider Metasearch as the new homepage of the hotel. It's the first place where they see the photos, reviews, prices, obviously, and they decide who to trust. And this is so important for hotels because it's a strategic distribution touchpoint. Metasearch has become one of the most important parts of the direct channel. And this is because Metasearch provides main two advantages. One of them is a high intent traffic. I said that the user is very close to book. Metasearch is in the low funnel and it has a super good performance. And the other hand, the other point, the other advantage is that Metasearch creates a fair space where hotel website can compete with OTAs in the moment when users are making decision. This is a super good point. And I think in simple terms, Metasearch is a good strategy tool to grow direct bookings, protect hotel brands, and also to be present in the most important moment on the travel journey.
Thank you, Clara. That sets really very clear base for rest of the discussion. So let's move to you, Kostas. Small and independent hotels usually says that it's difficult to compete with big OTAs and big international chains. What kind of opportunities Metasearch provide for these kind of properties?
Okay, first of all, what I mostly like in Metasearch, I will use a very strong word, is democracy. It's democracy in visualization of hotels. So without Metasearch, or before Metasearch, hotels and small hotels, independent hotels, have no way to compete OTAs and hotel chains. I mean, they spent millions for money for marketing and this kind of thing, so there was no way to compete on them. This Metasearch changed this game completely. Okay, so with Metasearch, we see hotels that can appear on the same page with any other hotel, and this is based mostly, the competes based mostly on some specific criteria. They say, for example, pricing, availability, user experience, and performance. Okay, these are the criteria that most of the Metasearch platforms are using in order to, let's say, to interact with, to visualize the hotels. Okay, so if a hotel has a good price, they maintain rate parity, they provide competitive pricing, okay? And if they have a booking engine that's strong enough and they have a very smooth booking process, then they can be, then the algorithm of Metasearch can put them on the correct page in the platforms, okay? So actually, what Metasearch is mostly a performance channel rather than a branding channel. So the hotels doesn't have to let's say, to invest so much money on that. Okay, they just want to buy their visualization on the correct way. And what I see now, especially after COVID, I see most of the people prefer to book directly, to book through the booking engine. Because they want to see a better price or a benefit. Okay, so this trend, if the hotels combine this trend together with the Metasearch, I think this will become much better results for the direct bookings. So I see actually Metasearch as one of the biggest equalizers in our industry. Okay, they provide hotels the power to compete against OTAs and hotel chains on a fair way.
Thank you, Kostas. That's really very important perspective. So, Peter, let's look at the other side of the story. What happens if hoteliers use Metasearch in a wrong way? What are the common pitfalls for hotels?
Yeah, definitely. So as Clara and Kostas mentioned, Metasearch connects you to the traveler who is ready to book, right? So it's in that portion of the funnel of the users who are ready to book and make the booking and land on your website. However, there are a couple of common mistakes that we usually see when hoteliers are setting up Metasearch. First and foremost is the whole rate parity, where, for example, imagine a user that finds your hotel on TripAdvisor and sees that your direct hotel offer is $10 more expensive than the competitor one. In that case, you're most likely to have lost a click unless you have super high brand loyalty and the customer is already familiar with the whole booking process. Similar thing goes for the price accuracy. Imagine a user or a traveler finds your ad on Google Hotel Ads, likes the price of $180, is ready to book, makes the click, and lands on the booking engine and suddenly finds a price of $250. This experience doesn't just frustrate the user, it can also hurt you because the platforms such as Google Hotel Ads penalize you for giving this type of experience, and suddenly your CPCs can go up, and this can cost you more than it initially should have been. Moreover, the whole budgets and bids, right? What we always kind of like recommend to customers is to keep a flexible mind. So not to be underfunded, because being underfunded in Metasearch campaigns can lead you with budgets running off halfway through the day. Or if you're using the manual bid tools, right, you might be overbidding in some of the instances. For example, you might be focusing on markets that are not driving revenue or performance, or you might be focusing on device types that are certainly only for the exploration. And what is really important, something that we've learned over the past years, right, Metasearch should be looked as a part of your marketing. The same thing that you're doing for kind of like paid, social, and similar, Metasearch should be part of that mix. So it's super important to have experts on the topic and somebody that can kind of like consult you and provide you with the latest insights on what needs to be done to succeed in driving those direct bookings for your website. And last but not least, it's the content, right? So your profile is super important. The photos that you've added, the descriptions that are in there, the way that you kind of like make marketing for your hotel. So make sure that you have those kind of like lifestyle shots updated, because we've had cases of hotels just switching those photos and conversion rates going up. So Metasearch channels, in summary, can be a great tool for you, but only when prices are right, you do have evergreen budgets, and profiles reflect your best self.
Thank you, Peter. That gives us a very clear perspective. Thank you very much. Clara, let's move into practical sides. Hotels often ask, what should we do? So let's give them something concrete. My question for you is, let's talk about tactics. What are the key elements of successful Metasearch strategy?
This is a critical point, Arham, because a successful Metasearch strategy, it's not plug and play and forget. This is a continuous and dynamic process, but to maximize results, hotels need to consider 5 elements working together. The first one is the price, obviously. No, the price is the core of Metasearch. It's the biggest factor influencing your click-through rate, and it's important to maintain rate parity, and we see hotels with better price than OTAs obtain a higher conversion rate, but it makes sense. And the second point is the right integration technology. Hotels need an integration partner. This is mean the integration technology will be able to respond all the searches that user is doing in the Metasearch, like 2 adults, 3 adults, searches with children. So all the rates, all the inventory, because if the integration partner can't respond, you are invisible on the Metasearch. You are losing an action. The third point is bidding strategy. We need a competitive bidding strategy. If we want to reach a good impression share, the impression share is the KPI measure the visibility of the campaigns. We need a robust bidding platform managed with an expert team. This is important as well because we need people who knows hotel sector, our ecosystem, and this is an important point also. And the 4th element is the booking engine. And why? Because the reservation is done in the booking engine. And a booking engine is a super complete technology, a robust technology, but maybe we can summarize two most important things. The first one is consistency. Consistency means that the landing page must match what the user click on the Metasearch. The same dates, the same occupancy, the same currency, super important because some booking engines don't support all the currencies, and prices. And obviously usability. The booking engine must be fast, mobile friendly, easy. If it has too many steps, it could decrease the conversions. And the last one, and it's super important as well, is the measure. If we don't have tracking or if we lost the tracking, we are not able to optimize our campaigns. And most important, we are not able to know what is the profitability of our campaigns. We don't know how our campaign is working. And I think we can summarize these 5 elements to reach a good strategy in Metasearch.
Thank you, Clara. That gives us a very tactical framework. And Kostas, I'd like to connect this something even more fundamental. One of the biggest promises of Metasearch is that gives hotels more control. Control over pricing, control over demand, and control over customer communication. So, how does Metasearch empower hotels about these topics?
Very good questions, and actually highlights the real value of Metasearch. Okay? I mean, besides clicks and traffic. Okay? So when hotels go through OTAs, they lose control in three of the most important elements of their business, which is what you said before: is demand, is pricing, and yes, and guest satisfaction, guest communication. Okay, so let's go one by one. So actually, Metasearch restores all these controls and give it back to the hotels. So let's say for the pricing, which is the number one, hotels can push their own best direct price to the Metasearch. This is very important. So in real time, they can put the best price, they can see the price and compare it with the other OTAs, what they have. They can make a discount, they can make an offer, they can propose a benefit. So it's something that they can do with no limitations through the Metasearch. The second thing is actually the demand. So what happens here is that they can provide visualization, they can see their hotels in Metasearch whenever they want actually, because we can say that Metasearch is a demand management tool. Okay, they can see if there's an event, if in a low season, if they want to promote mostly a specific room type, okay, they can do that with Metasearch. Okay, so in some way you can say that they can, the hotels knows when, where, and how much visibility they want to have on Metasearch. And the third one, which I think the most important, is guest relationship, because this is the number one for all the hotels. I mean, if the reservations coming from OTAs, actually OTAs keeps, we know that, keeps the data of the clients. They don't provide them to the hotels. When the reservation is made directly through the booking engine, or even if they come from Metasearch, all the data profile goes to the hotel. So the hotel can directly communicate with the client. They can make, let's say, they can provide some benefits. They can communicate with them. They can send them a reward. They can actually build loyalty with the client, a long-term relationship. This is how business works in general. So they're missing this from the hotels when they work with OTAs. Okay. So at the end, I can say somehow, to summarize all of these points, that Metasearch actually gives control to the hotels over their pricing, their demand, and their guests, which is very important.
Thank you, Kostas, for explaining us about control and independence. So, Peter, let's move to my favorite question of the day. We've discussed a lot yesterday. So, we are living in the AI age, and it's going to change everything. Many people don't even aware of that yet. So, what do you think that AI, or how does AI will impact Metasearch?
Yeah, so AI, or artificial intelligence, is already changing the back end of Metasearch, but most importantly, is changing and evolving how travelers are using and searching for hotels. Back in the day, Metasearch used to be quite manual or based on a set of strategies where you needed to be tweaking budgets, optimizing and adjusting bids, mostly on a manual basis. Nowadays, what AI does is analyze thousands and thousands of signals and actually can know where you need and propose to you where you can tweak the budgets, adjust the bids to gain those incremental revenue and gain those profitability levels. So it's not about kind of like taking away the human work, but it's more about automating everything and keeping it more flowy, to put it in that way. Then the second thing is that conversational AI, conversational type of queries are becoming a new thing. So previously, travelers would search hotels in Paris, right? While nowadays they might search, show me a hotel in Paris with view of Eiffel Tower under $300. So in order for AI tools to show you these type of hotels, you need to have this information as a part of your feeds, as a part of your technical integration, in order for them to pop it up when you're doing the search query. So for example, Google, with their Google Gemini AI, is already posting these results. So when you go now and search for the hotels, the list of the hotels that actually show and pop up will be the ones that have their feeds and this information integrated as a part of their feeds. TripAdvisor, on the other hand, has entered into collaboration with Perplexity AI to integrate its reviews and hotel information. And then Trivago is also doing something similar with Google Vortex AI to enable more of these conversational type of queries instead of the static filters. And then most importantly is the whole omni-channel is gaining more presence, is gaining more importance than ever. So imagine a user that's kind of like started on Metasearch today and they can end up their booking tomorrow. But how can you know, right? So AI is connecting these dots and it can actually tell you where does the user sit at that moment. And you can actually, via this omni-channel presence, see what is the real power and the value of Metasearch, and then hopefully invest more into the channel. And last but not least, content is simply always changing, right? So back in the day when you were doing social campaigns, you would have to prepare the content for the upcoming. Sorry for that. Back in the day when you were doing social campaigns, right, you would have to have the whole content team prepare the campaigns and the visuals. Right now what AI can do is kind of like identify these intent signals and perhaps the summer for a resort show more family style content, while for example in months leading up to February and St. Valentine's Day show more romantic packages. So AI is definitely changing or beginning to change how Metasearch works, but more importantly is beginning to change how travelers are searching for your hotels. And it's most super important to be part of that experience. And as the team has probably mentioned before, having that technical component and having everything as a part of the feeds is super important for you to be shown on users on these type of platforms.
Thank you, Peter. Normally we prepared another 2 rounds of questions, but I'll skip them to keep up with the timing. And I'll promise we'll have online session together, okay, when you go back your country, and we'll make it again online. So thank you, Clara, Peter, and Kostas for your great insight today. So I encourage all of our audience explore how Metasearch can help their properties to move forward. So thank you for joining us, and thank you again to our speakers.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
the
much.
rest of the Congress. Thank you.
Bizler de teşekkür ediyoruz ve Kaan Başkanım yine geliyor. Birazdan anket sonuçlarımızı paylaşacak Kaan Başkanım. Ardından sponsorlarımıza plaketlerini takdim edeceğiz. Programımızın sonuna geliyoruz yani yavaş yavaş. Evet, anket sonuçlarını paylaşacak şimdi Kaan Bey. El mikrofonu istiyor musunuz?
Bana eşlik eder misiniz?
Tabii ki. El mikrofonu ister misiniz?
Olur, buradan da bakıyoruz, böyle de bakıyoruz.
Tamam.